morning of athletics. So now the action is just about to get underway. You can see on your screens the course described. 2 short laps. Well, in fact, they have a run-in of about 145 metres into the first turn. Then 2 short laps of 450 metres, followed by 2 long laps of 150 metres. And then out again, a finishing straight of 70 metres. It's going to be a bit of a mad dash into the first corner. Over 100 runners in this race. Just saw there, humidity quite high at 74%, although we aren't expecting any rain. Freezing conditions, we haven't got above 0 yet this morning. 26 countries represented, and as you heard Mark Butler describe earlier on, very, very pleasing to see no less than 19 nations have actually sent potentially scoring teams. So there's just the rundown of the competitors. Delia Sklarbas from Switzerland there. Members of the very good Turkish team who always show well in these junior races, or have done in recent years, certainly. This is given by, not country order, but by echelon order. Miriam Datka and Harriet Knowles-Jones there in side-by-side funnels, and Yasmin Lau. Very good Dane, Anna Mark Helvig. As we go through Romania, Poland, Croatia, and the host nation, Slovakia. Well, it's going to be a tough call for the Slovakians to get on the medal table. The Slovakian national anthem you heard just a few minutes ago is probably going to be the only time we're going to hear it during the course of this morning. Slovakia, outside chances perhaps of getting their very first ever European Cross-Country Championships medal in the mixed relay later on. Already it's Helveg to the fore in this mad dash for the first corner. Datka as well up there. Spaniards, Gadado and Rodriguez showing quite well. Sklarbas well equipped for these winter conditions in racing tights, long-sleeved thermal vest and gloves and hat as well. Well, more like a headband. So very, very quick opening, few hundred meters as they try to avoid any stumbles and falls at this stage. Already the early pace is starting to string out some of these runners. Well, Datka and Sklarbas amongst the favourites. I should say Lau. You can see many of the runners opting for long sleeve vests in these conditions. French packing well. You can see 3 French women in the top 15 there. Nice shot there as we look down the field.
And to the fore already we can see Miriam Datka with the big hair, and next to her Sklarbas of Switzerland, both medalists at the European Under-20 Championships on the track this year.
Lucia Rodriguez on your right-hand side of your screen. Just give a shout out for her. She's actually a near neighbour of mine where I live in Spain. Often see her running down the road in front of my house. She doesn't see, unfortunately, me often running down the road in front of her house. It's Miriam Datka showing well at this stage. Just gone through 660 metres. Still big bunch together. Liliana Toth, a very good Hungarian steeplechaser. Datka, the European Junior should say under 20. The nomenclature's changed. European under 20 silver medalist in Grosseto behind Jasmine Lau, who's just behind her at the moment.
Silver medalist 2015 and bronze medalist 2016, but also Sklabas and Lau are summer track European championships.
Sklabas, as you can see, in the red attire of Switzerland. Hugely talented distance runner. Also has a very talented sister as well, just slightly older than her, Sylvia Sklabas, not in the team on this occasion. Sklabas, the European under-18 1,500 metres and 3,000 metres champion, and went on to win the 3,000 metres in Grosseto. Sklabas still only 17 years of age.
Yes, Phil, doesn't it make you feel old, or it makes me feel old when you're commentating on people who were born in 2001?
Indeed, yes. Makes me feel old when I'm commentating on people born in 1991.
Well, when you think there are some women later in this, or men and women later in this day who are competing age 40 or late 30s, some of these athletes could still be competing in the European Junior Championships in the 2040s.
Yeah. Just see on your screen there, still a big group in the front, led by Datka. They went through 1,110 metres in 3:42. As to be expected, Knowles-Jones up there. So already the main contenders starting to get themselves free of the rest of the field. So it's Datka, Knowles-Jones, Lau. That's the 1, 2, 3 at the moment. About 3 kilometres of running still to go. Liliana Toth, well, set a Hungarian under-20 record in her steeplechase heat at the European under-20 championships, and then dramatically fell apart after leading the race, leading the final. But certainly a talent, and hoping she's learned from that experience. Difficult to tell who's leading the team race at the moment, possibly Great Britain.
I think it's Great Britain from France, but it's very early stages so far.
Italy also showing well there at the moment, and indeed Spain, I think, also have got a scoring trio. This year, as Mark pointed out at the start of the programme, rules have changed very slightly. In previous years, it's been up to 6 to run, 4 to score. Now it's 3 to score. Mark, just very quickly, what sort of effect do you think that's going to have on the team competition, that rule change?
Well, I think it's going to enable more countries to finish teams, because there are inevitably people that drop out, or countries that aren't able to field 4 athletes. It's going to make the finish quite exciting, because you know we look to see who's got 4 runners up. We used to look to see who had 4 runners up at the front. There are going to be more teams with 3 runners at the front, so that it's going to be more exciting, I think.
Well, at the moment, a group of 4 starting to separate themselves. So it's Knowles-Jones, Lau, Toth and Datka. Then about, as you can see on your screen, about 3 metres back to Delia Sklabas. Sklabas finishing 6th last year in cheer. Then another small gap back to the chasing runners, completing the top 10. Toth didn't run in cheer, but was 28th back in 2015 in the under-20 race. So now it's Knowles-Jones really going for gold. Roughly halfway into this race now. That's one of those little obstacles that we were talking about at the start of the programme. Having a good run at the moment. Back in 6th place is Murphy from Ireland. Irish runner we hadn't really looked at earlier, but Sophie Murphy, Irish junior cross-country champion last year. One of many runners in the under 20 and under 23 races at a US university.
And also in 4th place, Liliana To of Hungary, Youth Olympic steeplechase medalist. Of course, in this part of Slovakia, Hungarian is spoken quite widely. We're not that far from the Hungarian border.
Yes, I think we're about a 2 hours drive from Budapest. I saw in some promotional literature. So now, quite clearly, the 4 women at the front starting to put a bit of distance between themselves, and Delia Sklavas visibly looking to be struggling. There's Shabanava, the European under-20 steeplechase champion, just going through your screen. Well, the Italians, after showing well in the early part of the race, now starting collectively to slip back. So there's about a 8-second, let's just say that's about 40 metres gap between the leading quartet and the chasers, including Mathilde Senechal from France. Sklavas now starting to slip back.
So now they are entering the one lap for a second time. Actually, this is the last lap. When they come again, that will be already the finish of the race.
So one more big 1,500 metre lap to go, and then the 70 metre run-in. Well, it has to be said, the leading trio with Toth just starting to struggle a little bit. You can see shoulders going from side to side, the Hungarian. But Knowles-Jones at the front looking very comfortable at the moment. So too, it has to be said, Datka on her shoulder. Datka still 19 years of age. Like Knowles-Jones, last year in the under-20 race. Last year finished back in 34th, but she's poised to make a big, big breakthrough. As we see the provisional team standings, Britain, Italy in 2nd, France in 3rd, Spain in 4th. Italy having moved up well. I mean, I thought that some of their runners had slipped back, but we just overlooked possibly their scoring trio, who are packing well in the positions between 15 and 20. Led by Nadia Battacletti. She's actually up in 6th at that last split.
Ahead of Italy, France, and Spain.
Well, Knowles-Jones now really starting to push very, very hard and put some daylight between herself and Datka. Sklava starting to slip back now. I think we can count her out of the consideration. But now Knowles-Jones really, really making a fine effort going for gold now. It's about 25 metres between herself and Datka, with Lau, the Dutch runner, in 3rd at the moment. Toth still hanging on in there, though, as they go over the artificial raised platform.
The leading margin of Harriet Knowles-Jones increased.
So could she be completing that medal collection? Bronze last year, silver in 2015 for Knowles-Jones.
Small water barrier.
About another kilometre of running still to go. That's the water jump I was talking about earlier. So it doesn't present too much of a problem. Yes, it is. That shows you the freezing conditions. Few people have trod in it, judging from the ice broken up, but not many. There you can see. And here. Well, somebody who's going to have wet feet at the end. But Knowles-Jones, this is a magnificent run. Well, she didn't have the best of trials races, finished 2nd, in fact. But has really bounced back. Now this is very much a race for the silver, I think. Toth having really found another gear, got back, and now it's Jasmine Lau, the European 5,000 metres under-20 gold medalist, who's starting to struggle and maybe edged off the podium, but it's looking as though Knowles-Jones now, about 700 metres of running still to go as she goes across the sandy patch. This is about 90 metres of sand on top of the turf. But she's really, really starting to work hard now, is Knowles-Jones. I think she can sense that she can actually rise up the podium and take gold. Well, Toth working hard behind her and has now got herself into the silver medal position. Well, we have had Hungarians on the podium in the past in the under-20 women's race, but this is an outstanding run from Liliana Toth. Puts behind her the disappointment of Grosseto. So it's Knowles-Jones now. Just the final couple of hundred of metres. She's coming in. She can sense, and she's coming into the finishing straight now. It's going to be Harriet Knowles-Jones of Great Britain. Knowles-Jones of Great Britain takes the very first gold medal of these Spa European Cross-Country Championships. Knowles-Jones takes gold. Following on from her, bronze and silver medals in the last 2 years. Liliana Toth of Hungary, silver, 11 seconds in arrears. And Miriam Datka of Germany, the bronze. Jasmine Lau just out of the medals on this occasion, followed by Battaclelli and one of her Italian compatriots. So good packing there from the Italians. They are going to really push Britain very hard for that team gold. Tomasai came in 6th place. Senechal 7th as we look down the rest of the top 10. Pedersen from Denmark 8th. Hughes, Great Britain, Northern Ireland 9. Murphy 10. European 800 metre under-20 champion Kahisa Malanga, good 11th place. 12th, Brown of Britain. Sklarbas, after being up with the leaders early on, slips back to 17th as we see the rest of the top 20. Subject to confirmation and my scribbled arithmetic, I think Great Britain, Northern Ireland will be taking the team gold. That is subject to confirmation. Italy look like the silver medalists. But we'll give you the confirmed team standings. But there's no doubt who got the gold in the individual race. This woman with 6:03 on the back. Great Britain and Northern Ireland's Harriet Knowles-Jones. And a magnificent run it was for the 19-year-old Briton.
Well, I think in the end then, Phil, experience told, didn't it? I mean, she was when you've been a medalist twice before, and neither of them the gold, then you want the gold, and she knew what to do. She made the break at the start of the last lap, never looked back, never needed to look back.
Yes, she'd obviously checked out the course and knew exactly when to push. Well, coached by the former British international distance runner Paul Roden, who, if I remember rightly, might well have competed in this event in the early years as well. Just as you saw there a moment ago, getting a big hug. As we saw from the times over this 4.1 kilometre course, this is a very quick course indeed. Confirmation then, Knowles-Jones takes gold, Toth of Hungary silver, and Datka of Germany the bronze. Just missing out Jasmine Lau of the Netherlands. See in front of you the rest of the top 10. Shabanava, we mentioned her at times during the broadcast. 14th, Lucia Rodriguez 15th, Sklarbas slipping back. Akpingol of Turkey, 21st, perhaps expecting a little bit more from the Turkish runner. As we can see, well, very weak sunlight. It seems to be a cloudless sky. Very cold conditions, though. They'll be soon getting into the warm. We've got great facilities here. They can get into the changing rooms, go through the mixed zone, chat with the local media. Jasmine Lau getting in on the act there, and there we see confirmed standings. Great Britain, Northern Ireland take the gold in the team competition, followed by Italy and Spain. Netherlands just missing out again. So poor old Jasmine Lau, 2 fourth places, both in the individual and in the team competition. But it'll be Knowles-Jones who stands on top of the podium twice. 20 scoring